would next like to call upon Paul Shapiro, Director of the Center for Advanced Holocaust Studies at the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum, to speak on behalf of his institution and Sarah Bloomfield.
Mrs. Lantos, members of the Lantos family, members of Congress, distinguished guests, and friends. Last September, in a keynote address that I delivered in Bucharest, Romania, to a European regional conference on anti-Semitism, I tried to focus the countries that were there on what is in the air. I spoke about resurgent anti-Semitism and the rising acceptability of Holocaust denial and other forms of anti-Semitic expression in mainstream media and intellectual discourse in the Middle East, in the Islamic world, and in Europe. Sadly, there's been no let-up in what is in the air in the half year since then. Just think about it with me for a moment. 3 months ago, Pope Benedict XVI lifted the order of excommunication of 4 bishops associated with the Priestly Society of St. Pius X. One of those bishops, Richard Williamson, has a well-established reputation as a Holocaust denier. In the weeks that followed the Pope's actions, the Vatican had to deal with outrage expressed in many parts of the world. The number of high-level prelates of the Church itself who spoke out in opposition was actually encouraging. This included a very strong statement made at our museum by Cardinal André Vantois, the Archbishop of Paris. And in the end, the Vatican itself issued a statement declaring that there was no room for anti-Semitism or Holocaust denial in the Catholic Church. Episode 2. 6 weeks ago, Bradley Smith, a well-known American Holocaust denier, and the founder of the so-called Committee for Debate on the Holocaust, sought to place ads in campus newspapers across the United States that challenged Holocaust scholars, and challenged me by name, to debate the existence of gas chambers that were used to murder Jews at Auschwitz. Now, the response of most campus papers was to refuse the ad. Admirable pushback. But the campaign served as a useful fundraising tool for Smith, who portrays his agenda of anti-Semitism, denial, and racist hatred as a defense of free speech. When asked by the Washington Jewish Week about this ad campaign, I commented, "Deniers are not looking for the truth. There's an enormous volume of unquestionably authentic and conclusive evidence of the Holocaust for those who want to know the truth." Episode 3. 2 days ago, the president of Iran, speaking at a United Nations conference in Geneva, unleashed a stream of Holocaust denial and racist vitriol that demonstrated before the whole world that Holocaust denial is a form of anti-Semitism and a vehicle for inciting hatred, violence, murder, and genocide. And we've just seen that here today. Now, in Geneva, there was also some pushback. A stream of delegates from the European Union countries that were in attendance rose and marched out of the room, even as the majority of delegates applauded this Iranian hate-monger. Now, the work of MEMRI, the film Denial, provides a glimpse into media treatment of the Holocaust in the Islamic world, in the Middle East in particular. The images and language are powerful, and you have already witnessed that. What is on the air in the Middle East makes it possible for us to understand, though of course not condone, why it is that Holocaust denial, the hatred of Jews and of Israel, and of the Western values that we so cherish and that Hitler sought to destroy by destroying the people who brought those values to the world, are so widespread in that volatile region. Unlike the Williamson affair, or the Bradley Smith episode, or Geneva, dissemination of this hateful material in the Middle East is not an occasional phenomenon, but a daily phenomenon that poisons people's minds. And pushback, well, we have some courageous individuals here today who are pushing back from within the Islamic community. But in most of the Middle East, the pushback today is sadly so weak, when it exists at all, that it has very limited public impact. And that, of course, defines the gravity of the threat that we face. As visitors to our museum's newest special exhibition, State of Deception, the Power of Nazi Propaganda, will see, the big lie that goes unchallenged breeds catastrophe. The challenge that Congressman Lantos would insist that each and every one of us confront is to understand the threat, to work systematically to defeat it, to strengthen the capacity of people in those societies where what is in the air is so toxic, to learn the truth about the Holocaust and the danger anti-Semitism presents for Jew and non-Jew alike, and to use every means at our disposal to strengthen the voices of moderation, tolerance, truth, and peace. He would remind us we are responsible for providing the pushback. I had the honor of hearing the congressman speak many times about these goals and the whole system of values, values of democracy, of freedom, of human dignity, to which he dedicated his whole being, to which his family now dedicates their whole being. Establishment of the Lantos Anti-Semitism and Holocaust Denial Archives provides a foundation stone for the effort that lies ahead. Drawing on the congressman's own experience, he understood that Holocaust remembrance and education, the fight against denial and anti-Semitism, the defense of human rights, and bringing peace to the Middle East for the benefit of Israeli and Arab alike are all inextricably linked. The Holocaust Museum is seeking to do its part. We're translating the museum's website into Arabic and Farsi and seeing regional interest in the information that we present rise daily. We're honored to have MEMRI material on exhibition at our museum and look forward to working in partnership with MEMRI and the new Lantos archives. There is, as Tom Lantos would be telling us in his very special, very direct way, and if you experienced it, you know, there is much to be done. Ladies and gentlemen, MEMRI is defining the challenge. We all have to rise up and respond to it. Thank you very much.